Alright. Might be so me that recording this, I'm cutting off part of my head. Because the way I'm shooting it, it's kind of like, like a white screen, 2 bars at the top, type thing. Well, hello friends. How y'all doing? It's been a while since I recorded a video. It's been a while since I had crazy thoughts to share. Yeah, been busy. Happens to a lot of us. So, what I've been up to last couple of weeks? Well, so very excited. Let's see. Today is the 2nd of June. Yeah, so about 10 days ago, on 22nd, I saw a rock legend. A guy named Bret Michaels. Yeah, actually got really good shot. I was close to the stage. It was awesome. For a 62-year-old rocker who survived the 80s. 62, he has type 1 diabetes. He survived a head injury. Tell you what, he was up there moving around, doing everything. Jansen, he was like 25 again. So, he's coming back to the area in July on the 19th in Quincy. It's only a couple hours away, but I just bought another tickets to see Leo Ford in September 6th, so yeah. Really enjoyed the show. Played a lot of the Poison hits. Of course, my favorite song on Skitty Bop. A nice rendition of Uptown Funk. Not my particular favorite song by the original artist, but Bret Michaels did it so much better. Of course, that led into Unskitty Bop. And closed out the night with Red Voodoo, who opened up the concert, and they did Sweet Home Alabama, or as Alabama calls it, the state national state anthem. Sounds like 50 years old and still kicking. Awesome. Just remember, Hope Neil Young. Oh, remember? That other man doesn't need him around anyhow. And it was a local show, so tickets originally were priced like $100, and it was an hour away at an amphitheater. For $100, got 2 shows, got Bret Michaels. Yeah, $100, $103. It was worth it, and that's the one thing about tickets nowadays, especially with what's going on with Ticketmaster. They're calling it price gouging, but it's kind of like, well, you went to a restaurant, got food. Oh, but there's this charge. Honestly, I understand why. If the ticket says $150, and at checkout it's an extra $75. And I guess I've been around for a while, and I understand that building needs to get paid. The union dudes need to get paid if they're some of the arena staff has unioned. The event staff needs to get paid. Everybody needs to get paid. I kind of understand why a surcharge like that. I understand, and I also understand why. Oh crap! I just bought a ticket for $150, and there's an extra, $50 to $100 distance surcharges. I understand that, however, and I guess it'd be ideal if it was like, it'd be like, oh, it's actually $105, but here's the $105 reason. But I don't think some people see that. They go, hey, I'm getting ripped off, which is understandable, and stuff like that. Artists like Taylor Swift, who made a couple bucks on her last tour. Yeah, but I want to word this correctly. I do think she kind of price gouges her real fans, so to speak. That's why, let's face it, Taylor Swift's going to be around here forever. Don't worry. She's going to be, what is she, like 42? So, trust me, when she's, in her 50s, she'd probably be doing like Pop Saloon or the Peoria Civic Center, one of those low end venues when they're an artist come wash up and be like, oh, hey, you remember Taylor Swift? She used to be married to that dumb football player who cheats and yada yada yada. So, and not only it's concerts, but even Monster Jam. Love Monster Jam. When my first show, 1984, at the St. Louis Arena, awesome. Probably tickets were $20 per person. Now, what was it? Maybe $100 per ticket. Inflation's one thing. Also, price gouging your real fans is another thing. Especially the shit quality show Monster Jam does. I remember going to Kiel Center 1995, 30 years ago. Got Monster Trucks, Quad Wars, Mud Race. 3 ring circus. Now, you just get Monster Trucks. Oh, they're pogoing. Yeah, that's nice. But come on. Then again, this is a corporate entity. Let's face it. It's one thing back in the day, even 30 years ago. It was plastic shell of trucks. Today, now they have a zombie. They have a shark. Which, by the way, I'm a fan of the shark. I'm a fan of the semi Lucas Ores truck. Understandable. And now they have a zombie and this weird thing and all this stuff. But it's kind of like, so you're just making toys. This was supposed to be a live action thing, which 15 years ago they were rumored to do a Marvel monster truck stage show type thing. I forget totally what it was about, but some crazy idea, like when Marvel had their license agreement with Monster Jam, but even that was a little bit silly. Oh wow, it's the Wolverine truck and it's big fucking anti-hand claws, and oh my god, they have a Superman. Wow, Chad Forson couldn't cut it setting up and breaking down rings or football. He went and go do Monster Jam. But yeah, I guess that's really started with snake bite thing, but it was a freaking snake. It actually had a point. It's not some weird thing, you know. Even Bob Chandler said, "Hey, I didn't like the idea, but it was a Hot Wheels creation." But yeah, but getting back to my real point, it's like, yeah, you're kind of pricing out your real fans, you know. Metallica, love Metallica, but boy, if you're not really into the membership where you're getting it on Monday, but the fan club you get on Wednesday and the general public gets on Friday, you don't get the sneak peek tickets. Although, at the end, when they were playing Inner Sandman and the boom, dun, 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 although I would have hated that being right next to the stage. You know, yeah. So, and let's face it, WWE, same thing. Because I was looking at their show. The show's coming up at Giant Stadium. I was looking at tickets and compare that with AEW. Floor seats right next to the ring. And you're getting 2 nights with WWE at Giant Stadium. You got the whole world will be watching as John Cena versus some guy I don't know. Maybe Cody Rhodes, who knows? But floor tickets, 10th row, $4,000. $4,000. I remember a day when floor tickets were $400 or something. Probably not even that. Had to be at least $75. Ringside seats now. Everything going on with WWE. Yeah, I'm good. I'm good now. And I imagine ringside's like $10,000. And again, you're paying for a pay-per-view event show, but $4,000 for 2 nights versus that of one night with AEW's running the Globe Life Field, home of the Texas Rangers. You know, closest seats right next to ringside area, about $1,000. Granted, AEW is not the juggernaut WWE has with being under the TKO umbrella, which owns UFC. But pricing out your real fans, that's shitty. Same thing, going to an NFL game. Last NFL game was in 2014. I don't remember how much I paid, maybe $275 a ticket, and maybe there was 3 or 4 people, so say $1,500. I don't know, throwing out numbers. I think so. Yeah, doesn't matter. So say you're $275, 3 people, close to $1,000. Okay, that was club level. Which, if you've never been to the Dome of America, it's the ring one up. You have the low ball, and it's that ring, and they have nosebleeds. And that for $275, it was club level. You got walked in, everything. Now NFL was, I don't know. Really depends what stadium you go. Sci-Fi Stadium, where the Los Angeles Chargers play, playing out the nose, plus you're playing $100 parking, and that's another thing. Parking's always been expensive. In St. Louis for Cardinals game, it's like $40 to park right next to the stadium at that parking garage. If you know where I'm talking about, it's kind of right field, and near Market Street. See, you got straight ahead is the Arch, the Capitol Building, and to the right. If you know from St. Louis, you've been to the area, you know what I mean. $40. Okay, $40, not bad. And you're getting a 3-hour game. So, and God, I don't really imagine what a game how much going to a hockey game now. Usually, when I go to a sporting event in St. Louis, I'm staying the night at the Durian right there, so no problem. But yeah, I would imagine paying an NFL, or paying at least $100 parking for, watch. Oh, what's some of those teams that got left? I imagine you're paying $100 to watch the Jets lose. Now you can go to a bar and have the same effect and support your local bar. You're paying out the money for all these, but I imagine there's major transportation. But I imagine you're paying $50-$100 for a parking, and your team's losing. Thank God for I don't have any pro NFL team anymore. But yeah, that's pricing them out. They not even seats. I wouldn't imagine the Lions Stadium. That's super expensive. I really haven't. I know I probably should prepped and say, oh, you're getting this much, but when I'm thinking about this 2 weeks ago, the schedule wasn't out, or I wasn't caring. Like I said, I've been busy, and so you're lucky for $500 you're getting nosebleeds. To watch Alex Smith play. Is Alex Smith still in the league? Yeah. So and there's one thing of, oh, you can buy your tickets in advance. You're paying upfront money too, but you wait for the day of the event. Hey, maybe you get lucky. Front seats closer, as close for a little less money. So one thing about that Taylor Swift, she did a show in Kansas City where the Chiefs play, I think still, maybe. And even when the first act was on stage, ticket prices lowered to $1,200. Interesting. Still, $1,200 still, and it's $1,200. Don't know where it is. Because you gotta remember, like Metallica on their tour right now, they're doing a ring in the middle of the state, and like Taylor Swift, everything is to one side of the building. So literally, could be paying $1,200 for floor seats, all the way to 100 yards away, and you're just watching on this big screen. And that's also one thing about you're paying to going to a wrestling show like a pay-per-view. So you're paying $4,000 to look at the screen, or some cases you pay for your seats and they're forced you to move because those seats for no reason. Or like during WrestleMania, one guy was watching the pay-per-view nosebleeds, and he paid $800 for it. It's one thing of paying for the experience. You're really paying for the experience. Understandable, but if I'm paying for the experience, I want to see what's happening, not some fly. Oh, hey, is that Coco Beware got John Cena headlock? No. So that's why You always go to indie wrestling. You always go to smaller shows, fairground shows, and if it comes to music, wait a few years. Who knows? Maybe they will totally tank their career and have to do a state fair, like Snoop Dogg had to do, or Def Leppard. Speaking of touring small venues, David Lee Roth back on tour. Closest place he's going to get here is Des Moines, which is like 3 hours away. And I'm willing to. I wish we can get David Roth instead of Def Leppard. That's my opinion. I'm sticking to it. So, boozy bop. Yeah. The other thing happened the last several weeks. Not bitching about, price gouging, but that's basically what we just talked about. Personally, when I was quite younger, worked third shift. Nothing really much on during the night. Usually I watch, QVC or Home Shopping Network. Now, things progressed in the last couple of years. Some institutions closed for the good, the bad, and probably the ugly. And one of the institutions on television the last probably 45 years is the Home Shopping Network, the original. So they're based out of Tampa, Florida, and now they're moving to Philadelphia. Philadelphia area is also where QVC broadcasts out of Westchester, which I heard is the best Chester. Thank you, notifications for nothing. By the way, this is probably my point, probably why they're moving. Got really bad storms, or temperatures here in Illinois has been, abnormal. But it was like a nice, really nice, like especially when Brett Michaels concert. I had to wear a long sleeve shirt in May. Yeah. May usually I'm breaking out the shorts, but now that show I had to wear a long sleeve shirt over my jacket or vest because I wore the vest to the show. That's the purpose of the vest. I made the vest for concerts like that. So going back to probably the reason why Home Shopping Network is moving up to Philadelphia to share space with QVC. Last few years, Home Shopping Network's been losing a lot of hosts, pay raises, pay cuts, and stuff like that. This is my speculations, but usually around September they go off air for about a week. Now that's a lot of money. So, and a few people are coming up from Tampa eventually. Tampa Bay Area to the Philadelphia area, so it's why not like a weird cross promotion. Going back to wrestling, WWE has now investment in Total Nonstop Action, Impact Wrestling, also known as, and AAA Mesco, basically, so they can water down that water down that lovely institution. And by the way, I love Lucha Libre. I'm just saying, love it as long as you can, because Lucha Libre is going to get watered down. But it's like now when you got, especially with WWE and USC coming together, it's blurring the lines. Same company now. Home Shopping Network, QVC, out of the same building now. Basically the same thing. Weird. But also, I'm trying to make a point. Weather. you know, yeah. So, that's just my thoughts, but it was kind of weird that, last year or so, some of the hosts been not showing up, retiring, but they got bought out probably. But yeah, Home Shop Network's been, it was a running joke on Married with Children, but now it's kind of going to the wayside because of, especially now we got Walmart, Amazon, buying out for your dollar instead of this lovely porcelain pony. What kind of cheap crap is this made of, Daniel? Well, Cynthia, this cheap, crappy porcelain doll is made of the finest glass out of the Mojave Desert. By the way, I totally respect the host because you're being, and you really have to sell the crap out of crap. And honestly, over the years, before I really got started watching, there's just no reason. I was just bored. There was nothing on. And WCW just stuck with QVC back in the heyday of wrestling. And Home Shop Network actually were with WWF when, SummerSlam 98, Survivor Series 98, selling all that really good old merchandise. But yeah, it's but there's actually one cool thing with what Home Shopping Network and WWE did better than QVC and WCW. After the shows, it became almost here's the plaque of Steve Austin win the WWF Championship at WrestleMania 14. We got 25 of them in stock. They're going fast, yada yada yada. And they probably have young Michael Cole or Doc Hendricks, with him going, yeah, blah, blah, blah. Then it'd be cut to right out the show. Okay, that's it. The plaque, the WrestleMania 14 plaque, Steve Austin win the championship. It's all gone. Now for let's cut it to Calvin Kelly with the new Intercontinental Champion. So basically, it almost came like a post game show. At this time, they're trying to sell you crap, which I don't know why they don't do that now. But I know I just got on a tangent there, but yeah. So speaking of TV. One of my finished watching the Avengers, the Ema Peel episodes. I finished up those yesterday. Watched all 51 episodes. And it's very very entertaining series. Well, get deep into it, probably at a later date when I got more words to say about it, but basically, yeah. Main reason I watched it was the episode Touch of Broomstone, so that's one of my favorites. And what else? Body cams on YouTube. Let's face it. Cops, the TV show Cops was an innovator in 1989. One of my first memories is watching the Las Vegas episode of Cops, or a 1 hour special, and the last segment is where this car, old Volkswagen, old car, anyways, the clutch stuck and it was going in reverse. But over the years it's become American Institution program. Eventually, went downhill, and it's three. It's the same three. It's every episode is the same thing. Drug bust, speed bump, drug bust, drug bust, drug bust. Well, eventually, Fox canceled that, like they do almost every show they do. And it's currently on Fox Nation or something like that, so it's gone. Although I thought you check out America's Most Wanted. I think it's on tonight, or was it last night? Today's Monday, isn't it? Anywho, once again, American Most Wanted, American Institution. Eventually, Fox canceled it. Then rolled in YPD. Then later moved to Reels, and which I got really bored of. Here's some every episode. Pull the car over. Hi, you know why you were speeding? Yeah. Okay, now let's go to Broward County and Officer Mohammed. Mohammed. Hi. Yes. We got a disturbance call. Cut to commercial. 5 minutes of commercials. Now back to the studio. Yada yada yada. Yada yada. What I'm getting at got really boring. It was kind of stuff didn't wrap up. Now this a few years ago, all cops have body cams, and with the Freedom of Information Act, you can get the video of said instance. And now YouTubers have more entertainment now than, which is much more entertaining than actual cops ever was, because now most of the videos I've seen were this, 19, 20-year-old drunk college girls who couldn't hold their liquor at that time. I keep searching around, see if I can find a nice local incident. I'd be like, hey, I know that area. So that's like my new obsession, body cam video channels. Yeah. I can really go in depth. Christy Mayer actually did a video on watching body cam videos on their channel. Chicks not holding the liquor. So 30 minutes. About the round. You can always hold up Batman Forever and movies and stuff like that. And it's time. Let's face it, I'm 30 minutes in. You're probably already turned this shit off. But like I said, so probably leave for next time, if there is a next time. Who knows anymore? Watch Batman Forever again because Schumacher Cut came out recently, and 30th anniversary is this month, and I watched Lisa Frankenstein. For those more and other crazy thoughts of mine next time. And until then, play it pretty for Stella.